Of armed forces operations is hereby announced. That statement from Iran's top military command after a day of missile launches targeting Israel. The Israelis responded with multiple strikes of their own.
Fox's Jonathan Savage in London. Nearly a week after the primary election in California, results still not final for governor. In the race for L.A. mayor,
L.A. County says it still has 355,000 mail-in ballots to process. Yesterday's ballot dump pushed Councilwoman Nithya Raman past Spencer Pratt by about 3,000 votes into that critical second place spot.
That is Fox's Matt Finn reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
Here 710 KURB, AccuWeather forecast. Breezy, hot and humid with clouds and sun this afternoon. Highs in the low to mid 90s. Becoming cloudy tonight. Stays humid with a passing shower late. The low only down near 80. Partly sunny. Hotter for us Tuesday. Breezy in the afternoon. Highs in the 90s to near triple digits. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun. Breezy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm in spots. Highs again in the 90s to near triple digits. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURB.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Rapid fire headlines.
And a big hug and a kiss to all my ag family, all the ranchers and everybody in ag. Yeah, we got a second case of New World screwworm detected in that area between central Texas, San Antonio, and over to the river in Zavala County. And yes, of course, that spurred the disaster declaration to be expanded a bit.
Governor Abbott expanded his existing disaster declaration,
making available any and all of our state personnel, including our university systems, to accelerate the movement of sterile flies into the state of Texas and to accelerate the construction of the new sterile screwworm production facility in Edinburgh.
That facility expected to be up and running by November. Sterile flies are being released in South Texas by the U.S. Department of Agriculture in an effort to break the reproduction cycle of the parasitic flies. Rear Admiral Michael Schmoyers with the USDA.
We have dispersed over 130 million flies in Texas since January.
A screwworm outbreak could cost Texas an estimated $1.8 billion. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Canada is restricting U.S. livestock imports after that second screwworm case was identified. They're only limiting to the area that's been affected.
A second case of the parasite was discovered Friday at a month-old calf in southern Texas. The larva of the screwworm fly feeds on the living tissue of livestock animals and can be fatal. The USDA says a control zone has been placed around the infected animals. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says, however, that it's going to temporarily restrict imports of livestock from the affected areas of the U.S. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Texas in line to get some big bucks from the federal government. That's actually a reimbursement for all the money Texas spent on border security.
A key part of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill was a fund that would pay states back for securing the border. Applications for that cash are now open. Congressman Mike McCall says we're first in line because the state stepped up to the plate when border crossings were at the highest.
So to reimburse the state of Texas is only fair.
He says the state is in line to receive $12 billion in reimbursement. That's how much was spent on Operation Lone Star, as well as border wall construction.
A
key part of President Trump's...
Sorry, Freddie. The next crew for the Artemis flight will be announced very soon.
The excitement of future moon missions has reignited the interest in America's space agency. Former NASA astronaut and Texas A&M engineering professor Dr. Bonnie Dunbar flew the space shuttle on 5 missions long after the Apollo program.
Not only exciting, I think it has to happen. You know, I've been around long enough that I saw Sputnik fly. I saw the first humans fly.
Dunbar is overseeing a project at Texas A&M bringing in a centrifuge that can provide researchers with artificial gravity, simulating the gravitational force on the moon. Texas A&M recently opened a new space institute that can serve as a training facility for both astronauts and students.
Good morning to all the gang at Starbase and SpaceX. The thousands of Valleyites working out there. God bless y'all. Good morning to Elon Musk as well. Soon to be the world's first trillionaire. That would likely happen by Friday as they're going to sell some SpaceX stock.
The SpaceX IPO is set for Friday and will likely be the largest in corporate history. SpaceX is planning to sell more than 555 million shares for $135 apiece. That would generate $75 billion. As CEO, Elon Musk will still retain more than 80% of the voting power over a company that includes the rocket business, X, and the AI Grok. The shares will be listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol SPCX. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Well, he's going to have a few extra dollars to throw around. I saw an online post that had mentioned that Elon Musk was willing to support every Republican to make sure that we won in November. So I hope we get some of the love over here for Eric here pretty soon. In the studio, as you can see us online, 710KURV X, 710KURV Facebook. You doing the YouTube thing as well, Freddie? Yeah. Which one? Which? Facebook and YouTube says 710KURV Facebook. And you can see the video later on our 710KURV social media. Eric Flores, Republican, future congressman. Freaking great! Don't be laughing, dude. You got to get used to the title. I saw Eric in the lobby said, "Congressman." So get used to the Republican Eric Flores. He's the candidate for Congress 34, and we're hoping that 34 seat is one of several that we can flip or maintain.
Absolutely,
here in Deep South Texas, and make it Republican. So welcome back to the studio, dude.
No, thanks for having me back,
man. You smell great, Vato. I don't know what you're using as far as body wash. Lemony fresh, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Smell great. So what do you think? Maybe put the name in the hat to see if Elon, if it's true, he's going to support all these Republicans to win.
Hey, we're ready.
We're your neighbor right here.
You know, I'd love to have him. You know, fun
you
fact.
You would be congressman.
Yeah.
For Starbase.
That's right. So fun fact, he's a registered voter of Congressional District 34, as we saw, you know, him supporting some of the previous nominees. So glad to have him in the district, glad to have Starbase in the district. And yeah, we need him for sure.
Eric is in the studio because this past weekend on Saturday, and gosh darn it, they called me up to go MC the thing, and I was driving to West Texas somewhere, picking up family. I'll get you on the next one, dude. I'll let MC whatever, because I know there's always good food at those events.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
chicken salad croissants were the hit.
Man, I love those. All right. Well, you got a new HQ open in Harlingen, and by some of the people posting on that, it looked real good.
It was good turnout.
Very well attended.
Yeah, energy was great. You know, everybody who was in attendance was excited and definitely fueled me. So definitely, you know, blessed and grateful to have everybody there Saturday.
So give me a feel, man. You're out there pressing the flesh and meeting folks and fundraising. So tell me about the energy. What do you feel? What do you see right now?
Well, I think they're tired of the excuses. They're tired of the lying, and they're tired of the no results, you know, and that's what we have right now with the current congressman who's there. Been there 10 years, not passed a single piece of legislation other than, you know, renaming a post office. He's got excuse after excuse, lie after lie. You know, he's name calling, extremely unprofessional. He's acting like a 5-year-old. And, you know, he's a glorified piece of furniture up in D.C. That's what he is.
Well, one thing, if he tried a little harder, I'm sure he'd get the attention of the White House, even being a Democrat. But that's one of the big disadvantages.
Yeah.
Is that if you got the wrong letter at the end of your name, it's going to be real tough to get the attention of Washington to do something beneficial for the district.
Well, I mean, I think if you go back during the sleepy Joe Biden era, right, and the no-show borders are Kamala, Congresswoman De La Cruz passed and championed legislation during that era, you know, when she was in the minority. But you look at, you know, my opponent, he was in the majority and yet still couldn't get anything across the line. Well, you know, I'll tell you why. It's really tough to do that when you're absent over 200 times, you know, during his tenure. I mean, I don't know any jobs where you can have 200 absences and keep it, or 200 absences and ask, hey, for a promotion, or, you know what, let me get a new contract so I can come back. You know, it's just unacceptable. He can claim every single excuse, but, you know, the writing's in the pudding. It's very simple. You know, he has been a no-show congressman. He hasn't done anything, and we got to hold him to the same standard that we hold our hard-working families to. You can't miss work, and when you do show up to work, you got to do your job.
He might have a future in radio sales. I mean, I never see those people around here. They don't sell anything. So, never show up 200 plus absences in the year. Freddie's agreeing. So I'm not the only one in trouble. You'd be in trouble too, Freddie, in case for some reason they decided to finally tune in and listen to KURV. Eric Flores, Republican congressional candidate for Congress 34. It's a congressional district. You're reminding me off here. It's a Corpus area, más o menos. All of Cameron, Willacy, all of Cameron County.
And Clayburgh, Kennedy.
Yeah, también.
You have 5 total counties. So the most northern portion will almost be downtown Corpus Christi, and the most southern portion be in Cameron County.
Does 34, it used to, does 34 still snake a little bit into Hidalgo County, or has that been
So that was
chopped off?
That was, before redistricting, had a little bit of Hidalgo. And then, of course, with redistricting, it cut all of Hidalgo out. And then now it's anchored in the south in Cameron.
The metrics, the numbers. Trump versus Biden. Is it a plus what Republican?
Oh, it's a Trump 10 district.
Oof.
If you look at the PVI, it's a R plus 4. So the numbers are in our favor, but this is truly where we have to get every single Republican. And besides that, every voter who is tired of the lies and not having any sort of results here in South Texas, they should be voting for me. Right, because I'm not running on ideas. I'm running on results that I've already brought when it comes to border security, when it comes to helping out cities and school districts, and so on and so forth. So I'm running on results. It's very simple. All the issues that are near and dear to many folks are near and dear to my heart. Flooding, infrastructure, having to send our kids away to San Antonio, Austin, and Houston. That's got to stop. We need to keep everybody here.
On the economic development side, you would be representing an area that is, some could argue, leading the nation. From the port and the refinery, first one in 50 years, and of course our neighbor Elon Musk and SpaceX and all the tier one industry companies.
We are so ripe. Talking about moving across the district. I speak to a lot of the folks involved in economic development, the engineers. He floats. Well, I brought down this money. Well, that's earmarked money. You put in a simple request, it's coming to you. Right. But what we're lacking is that big money for a lot of these economic development projects. I mean, talk about number 1, number 2, Port of Corpus Christi, Port of Brownsville. I mean, they are the biggest land port right now in Texas. There's no reason. We are so ripe for growth, and we have it at our fingertips. We have a seat at the table when it comes to this administration. It's going to be about delivering results, and it's time for change. I mean, yeah, enough is enough. For us to be left behind, the day has come to send him home.
Part of the behind-the-scenes conversations that I suspect you are having and people are mentioning to you, because the president is hell-bent, determined to make us a leader again in so many different industries. But on the national security side, we must become a country that produces and builds ships. We are being skunked by China like that. And it's huge. It's like a 50, and I'm probably being generous, 50-1 margin. It's probably closer to 80-1 ratio, 50-1, 80-1 ratio, where China is producing that many ships versus for every one that we're producing in this country, the Port of Brownsville could be. And this is nothing new. I'm not, you guys are barely hearing about this. This has been in the news for a while. But also other type of warfare technology and equipment that could be built here or your district up in Corpus as well. We have the potential for that because behind the scenes, we already have the university, the colleges, from Del Mar to A&M up there, Kingsville, A&M down here, A&M McAllen, UTRGV, TSC, TSTC, todo eso. We can do that. And having a voice that would clutch the sucker by the throat and tell the president, Mr. President, bring it down here. We're ready. We got the workforce. That's a big issue that's popping up for Congress 34 because, again, it's the coast, it's the ports, it's the leadership for business.
At the kickoff for the battle station in Harlingen, I looked around the room and I, totally went off script. And I just said, look at everybody in this room. We don't lack talent. Engineers, police, firefighters, attorneys, doctors. Matter of fact, we had some people there from SpaceX that are leading, on Starship 39, a lot of those big projects that they're doing. Nice. We don't lack the people. We don't lack the talent. Yeah. What we lack is the leadership and we lack the voice. Look at the water treaty agreement that Congresswoman de la Cruz got 30 seconds with the president. Said, Mr. President, Mexico is screwing us. Mm-hmm. That's District 15. They're doing a great job. She is championing legislation, but we're lacking it in 34. Even when he was in the majority, Bolo. Mm-hmm. And now he's in the super minority, I call it, because he's so far left. I mean, man, I don't even think there's I can't even name that direction.
Eric Flores, Republican for Congress, District 34. Pay attention, Cameron County. Pay attention, Willacy County. This is Congress 34. And, of course, as I've said often, Brownsville is leading our area. It's the economic engine. Brownsville is the economic engine of the valley. And with so much potential for us to land even more industry.
Oh, yeah.
What else is your passion, Eric? When you get a chance to meet with folks on the campaign trail, something else that you want to champion? You head up to D.C., Lord willing.
You know, one thing that we got to focus on down here, Sergio, without a doubt, is, we got to continue to keep our border secure, right? Mm-hmm. And just like, successful business men and women, the cartels are also diversifying their portfolio. And I saw that firsthand, whether it be an Operation Guardian Support or as a federal prosecutor, right? So now that we have a secure border, they're doing other things, right? They're starting to move more fentanyl. They're trying to continue to move guns and so on and so forth because we have nearly stopped the human smuggling. They know to continue to stay in Mexico. So with that being said, now we need to focus on our workforce. I met with some shrimpers the other day and some home builders. We need to figure out a system for these visas so that they can continue to thrive. A lot of people don't know this. The shrimpers in Brownsville, right? They provide a lot of our shrimp down here for South Texas and really Texas. So, and they need help, but instead of helping them, you know what my opponent told them? Well, President Trump is trying to deport brown people, so I can't help you. Well, how about you try? How about you go knock on a door? Let me tell you, when I went to the U.S. Attorney's Office and I said, I'm going to do great things, they said, well, hold on there, young buck. This is not the way we do things around here. Well, we're tired of doing the things the way we used to do them. We need a new day. We need to be extremely aggressive with certain things, and we need to produce results. And that's what we did. We pushed the envelope and we dismantled the largest human smuggling organization here in South Texas. We didn't do that by doing it the old way, by keeping the status quo. We did it by being aggressive, by leading and saying, hey, you know what? Our taxpayers deserve the very best.
We've had this issue come up before on the visas, the special visas that could be either created on the construction side, for example. We know who they are. Okay, well, let's figure out a way to keep working to deliver properties on time, to deliver whatever is being built on time. Also like shrimpers, other things that should be considered. Man, the dream ticket for me would be, of course, you got 34, Monica 15, and Judge Tano Tijerina in 28. Tell Henry, okay, take a breather, Henry. Thank you for all your work. Yeah, go thank God that you didn't wind up in jail. President Trump pardoned you at the wrong time, but go enjoy your family, your grandkids. So you could like tag team. And
100%.
Say, this is an economic development, job creating, a wealth creating, GDP expanding effort to strategically, surgically use people who have a skill set, either what's shrimping or construction, and let's deliver on time and quickly inject this the steroids, the workforce steroids, into the different industries. But that would be a dream ticket for sometime early next year to try to make
absolutely.
that
I mean, if you look at the South Texas delegation, if that's who we have, we could potentially have myself in 34. We defend Monica's district, Donald in 28. Then we have 35, which, would be Carlos. And I mean, we would be anchored in success. It would be a unified front when it says, hey, you know what? Houston, Dallas, Austin, thank you guys. You guys have received the major infrastructure. It's our turn. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we have A&M, UTRGV, TSC, STC, South Texas ISD, all these major institutions where the days of sending our kids elsewhere, Sergio, they're coming to an end. Our job creation down here in the valley is going to boom, but we have to be ready to, one, embrace it. And number two, we have to execute. And the time is now.
Eric Flores, Republican congressman, Republican congressional candidate. It's a Freudian that will become true, Lord willing. Oh, Jesus, please. Where's some?
From our mouths to Jesus' ears.
Oh, Lord, please, Lord, save our nation, save our valley. Eric Flores is running for Congress, and Republican running for Congress in District 34. So it's going to be a sprint to the finish line between 100%. Now and the end. And you got a big district to be driving quite a bit. So what's on the calendar? What do you want folks to know about? A fundraiser or a meet and greet, or what do you got on the calendar?
Look, I want folks to reach out to me, Sergio. I want them to see me personally. I want them to hear from me and ask me those hard questions. Because let me tell you, I've been asked plenty of hard questions. I've looked cartel members directly in the eye and never flinched once. Right? I think accountability is what this election cycle is about. You ask my opponent a question, he melts and acts like he's 5 on Facebook. That's not what our congressman should be. So what I want everybody across District 34 is to find me. Invite me to go have coffee, to go break bread with you, una concha, una empanada, un taco, whatever you come and invite me to your town. I'd love to host meet and greets and have everybody to hear what our message is. And that message is simple. We're holding this guy accountable. Being in Congress 10 years, it shouldn't be a lifetime achievement award. What it should be is we're seeking results for our districts and for our constituents. So I want people to reach out. I want to meet everybody. I want to shake everybody's hand and let them know what the platform is.
Website.
www.ericflores.com.
So when you sit down for the sweet bread and coffee, how many conchas and empanadas do you eat?
I try to limit myself to one, but typically it's always 2 or 3 and 4 cups of coffee.
Piña or calabaza? Which one? The empanadas?
Calabaza.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, dip it in the coffee.
Yeah, I got to go OG.
My goodness. All right, brother. Come back and see us anytime.
Absolutely.
Praying for you, brother. Let's get her done. That's Eric Flores, Republican candidate, Congress 34, Texas. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Thank you to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing.